when you look at what he was given, £230 million worth of transfers, only playing one game a week. So it's the first time in, I think, 12 years we haven't played in Europe. And we signed players for key positions we were desperately needing. We desperately needed a centre-back. We desperately needed cover for the wing-back. We desperately needed a new goalkeeper. We desperately needed an attacking mid. He got all of them. But he also lost Harry Kane, who was our best player. So when I look at it on a balance, for a first season, I would say he did well. But he also cost us. We should not have crashed out of the Carabao Cup first round. That was actually quite disgraceful. He made 9 changes. It was a joke. The FA Cup, all right, we lost to Man City. They're the best team in the land. So you get a pass. But top 4, we should have got top 4. And to not get that because of his stubborn naivety, it's not really acceptable. But at the same time, as a coach, I understand if you want to develop a philosophy, you've got to stick to your way. Otherwise, in the long term, the players will never get it. You've got to go through that rough patch. So I get why I stuck to it. But man, you could have done better if you just 1 or 2 games just tweaked it a bit. Like when we went to Newcastle, you lot destroyed us on the counter-attack. Surely he's looking at it thinking, right, I'm going to stick to my ways because that's how I'm going to teach them. But we're getting destroyed. Just drop back a bit. Drop back and don't let them get in behind. But he didn't. He watched us get battered. And so it's a tough question to answer, Chris. But I'm going to say for a first season, losing Harry Kane a week before we start the season and no replacement, I'll say it was a good first season, but it should have been better.
Yeah, but you can talk about 4th would have been the ideal spot. You're talking about 2 points away, though. I mean, at some point in time, everybody's playing. Aston Villa had a good season, probably the season that we had last season, previous that Newcastle had, qualifying for Europe and stuff like that, over Champions League. But at the time, I remember a while back, I had a discussion with you, and I said I don't think that Ange's way is going to work out, and that was after the Chelsea game where Cuti Romero was sent off, and then he kept playing the high line. And you argue with me. You said you were with Ange in that instance, but it seems like now later on in the season you've kind of switched that, and that's fine. I mean, explain to me.
Yeah, so in that game against Chelsea, it was different. We're down to 9 men. No team in the history of the Premier League has won with 9 men. It's never happened. So as soon as we went down to 9 men, it was inevitable that we were going to lose. So his thinking is, do you know what? We're not going to win. So let me just go all out. And maybe by doing that, I'm going to throw a curveball that no one's seen before. And who knows what happens. And you know what? We scored. We actually scored, but it was offside by about, VAR that much. So I understood what he was trying to do. If we sat back with Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, and all these players, listen, we would have lost, man. We would have lost. Liverpool, who have got a much better defence and goalkeeper than us, they went down to 9 men at White Hart Lane, and look what happened. In the end, they failed. So I believe his thinking is, I'm down to 9 men. We're going to lose. I might as well just go for it. What have I got to lose other than maybe pull out a miraculous win? So I understood it. But when you've got 11 men on the pitch and you're doing that and you're losing, that's where hold on a minute. You need to... There's moments in the game where the other team, for whatever reason, they're doing better. Their tactics working. Your players, they haven't come out on fire. They're half asleep. Drop back, not all the way back, just drop back 15, 20 yards, suffocate the game, calm it down, get control. Now we push up. But quite often he's like, no, stay there. And teams like you destroyed us. Brighton away, we were 4-0 down. It could have been 5 or 6, man. The Newcastle game wasn't a one-off. We saw that a lot. And all you got to do is just drop back for 10, 15 minutes, calm it down, build up some momentum, and then you can push up. But
But is
that's
it
where I that's where
is
I
it
change my
something
view of it, Chris.
is he who he is though? Because Ian Fleming here saying Ange always played that way. He's done the same since his Scottish club at Celtic. So is he? I mean, is there going to be a point where you think? I mean, look, I don't want to. I don't call for managers to get sacked, but that's who he is. Is he going to change?
Yeah. So Celtic is the best team in Scotland, who spend the most money and get the best players in that league. Right.
I know where you're going.
That's like saying he managed Man City. Right. In Celtic, all you've got to do is beat Rangers and you've won the league. In England, you've got to deal with Man City. You've got to deal with Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle, Aston Villa, West Ham United, who it's a London derby. It's different. You're up against Klopps, Peps, you name it, Pochettino's, top managers here. It's different. Ten Hag, who's won in Holland, who's won 2 trophies with an average Man United team. So it's who we are. But then here's the thing. The last couple of games, Chris, he changed it. Against Man City, we weren't on the halfway line. We still lost the game, but we weren't on the halfway line. He did adapt. So I'm thinking, well, hold on a minute. So you can adapt. So, you know, it's who he is a myth.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
Ultra expensive. Now, what's going on with Timo, man? I know you're very outspoken about him. Timo Werner. You actually, man. Listen, I keep an eye on you, brother.
Next question.
I keep an eye on you, man, because I want your blood pressure is gonna skyrocket, man. What is going on? Well, I can't say he was a decent player once upon a time. Chelsea didn't stay at Chelsea, went away. Spurs got him. So you absolutely do not rate him whatsoever.
No, man, he's rubbish, Chris. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke of a sign. This guy, he went to Germany after Chelsea, bummed out. He was third choice for his position at RB Leipzig. The club that made you, that took you back, if they don't want you again, that is a major red flag. And we're like, yeah, come to Spurs. He came to Spurs, scored 2 goals, missed countless opportunities, shooting accuracy, shots on target, goals converted, the worst stats at Spurs, the worst. Other than big chances misses, Brennan Johnson won that award. But we don't play with wingers. We play with a front 3. So think of Salah, Firmino, Mane. They've got to score goals. The season Liverpool won the league, those front 3 scored 50 goals. The only way you get away with it is if you have one striker that scores all those goals, like when Man City won the league with Erling Haaland, who scored 50 goals in a season. So we don't have a 50-goal a season striker. So you need the front 3 to all score goals. He's horrendous. He's shocking. So how can you have a player of this failure rate at your club? And he did exactly what every Chelsea fan warned us of. This guy in front of goal, God help you. And he proved it. Okay. Ange gets a pass because we were desperate. Solomon was injured. Perisic was injured. Son was on Asia Cup duty. We needed someone. He was available. It was cheap. It's just a 6-month stopgap. All right. That's ended. But you've brought him back for a season. He's the second highest paid player at the club now. This washed out German attacker is going to play for Spurs, man, and get lots of minutes. He's shocking. Okay, once in a while he puts in a really good cross and gets an assist. Okay.